for first 5 years, then 30 years, then 15 years, then 30 years. But actually the 6,823 rupees is incurred every year. So this is the way to find out the capitalized cost. Next thing is the present economic study. So present economic study, basically here the present means the current uh, project. It is related to the current project. So there are certain type of situations where an engineer has to take a decision among the completing alternatives. Example of situations like comparison of a design or elimination of over design. Also, designing for economy of production, maintenance and transportation, economy of selection, economy of perfection, economy of relative size, economy and location, economy and standardization and simplification. So among all these all things are related to the financial things, and based on the best alternative, based on the economic studies on these points, the engineer has to take the decision. So these are referred as a problem to the present economy. In such situations, the decision maker may not consider the time value of a money. The three most common method of evaluation of are out of pocket commitment, we will see, payback period and average annual rate of return method, in which time value of money is not considered, will that we will not discuss. Now let us see what is the out of pocket commitment. So out of pocket commitment is basically the total expenses required for an alternative. Okay. So suppose a precast concrete factory has to produce 1 lakh railway sleepers per year. An economic choice has to made between using the steel formwork and wooden formwork. So for a particular work, we have the choices between the methodology or between the material. So an economic choice has to made between using the steel and wooden formwork. So the life of a steel formwork is estimated to 1 year, while wooden formwork is 1 month. But there is a relation of cost is there. So the cost of preparation of a steel formwork is 4 lakh and wooden formwork is 50,000. So now based on this, it is further estimated the labor cost for fixing and removing the steel and wooden formwork are 10 rupees and 9 rupees per sleeper. Now in this situation, an engineer, as an engineer, it is your choice or it is your uh, decision that which of the alternative you have to choose. So that is, in that case you have to choose the lowest out of pocket. Out of pocket means the less expensive method or out of pocket commitment criteria for most economic alternative. So the out of pocket commitment for steel formwork option would be the sum of the total labor cost incurred for the production of 1 lakh sleeper per year plus the cost of steel formwork. So that is 1 lakh into 10, that is the labor work, plus 4 lakh. So that is the 14 lakh rupees. Similarly, out-of-pocket commitment for wooden formwork option, that is 9 rupees into 1 lakh plus 50,000 into 12, because it is applicable. 50,000 is spending for a month, so that is there. So that is the 15 lakh rupees. Now you are very clear that which of the alternative you have to choose. For steel formwork, the 14 lakh rupees per year will be spent, and for wood uh, formwork, the 15 lakh rupees will be incurred. So it is very clear that the steel sleepers will be better in this case. Let let us see the another method. So that is the payback period. Okay. So payback period, basically it is payback period for an investment may be taken as a number of year it takes to repay the original invested capital, and it serves as a very simple method for evaluation of a project and investment. Through this method does not take into account the cash flow occurring after the payback period, given the ease of computation involved. The method is widely used in practice, and this is understood that the shorter payback period, the higher likelihood of the project being profitable. In other words, upon comparing the two projects or alternatives, the option with a shorter payback period would be selected. So let us understand this payback period with the help of an example that will be very much beneficial. So for an example, let a contractor have a two brand of excavator. Excavator, basically excavation machines are there. You can consider the JCB in common terms. Construction equipment we will see in the coming lectures. So there are two brands of excavator, A and B, to be choose, and both brands are available for a down payment of a 4 lakh rupees. For brands can be useful for a period. Both the brands are useful for a period of a 4 years. Brand A is estimated to give a return of a 50,000 for first year and 1,50,000 for second, and 2 lakh for third and fourth year. So this is the return. Brand B, on the other hand, is expected to a return of a 1,50,000 for all 4 years. Now the payback period for both the brand is calculated with this help. So payback period, we here in the statement is given that the brand that the both of the excavator are useful for a period of a 4 years. So generally these heavy equipments not are means are not very having very long life. They need a replacement or change in certain years. So the payback period in a 4 year for brand A is 4, and the initial investment of 4 lakh rupees is recovered in 3 years. 50 plus 1 lakh 50 plus 2 lakh is equal to 4 lakh rupees. This method does not consider the return after the payback period. Hence, in case the return of fourth year is 2 lakh is simply overlooked. So शुरुआत के in initial 3 year it is जो initial down payment था that is recovered. Now in case of a brand B, the return is 3 lakh up to the end of the second year, and in the third year it is equal to 4,50,000. So the invested amount of 4 lakh is recovered somewhere between the second year and third year, or 2.5 year basically, which can be find out by the interpolation. So okay, by interpolation it is found 2.67 year, 2 year and 8 months. So here also, as the first case, we neglect the return that is expected beyond the payback period. Hence, it is beneficial to buy the brand B excavator, because while using the brand B excavator, we can recover the invested amount earlier as compared to the alternative A. Okay. So this is the payback period method of comparing the present economic studies. Now, after that, the third method we have seen or we have discussed, that is the average annual rate of return. So basically, in this method, the alternatives are evaluated on the basis of only the average of return as expected in terms of a percentage. So since this method does not distinguish the period at which transaction takes place or the timing of a cash flow, it is not possible to account for the concept of time value of money in this approach. So let us consider the previous example and see that how this can be done. So the average annual return, consider the previous example, the average annual return from brand A, that is the 50,000 plus 1,50,000 plus 2 lakh plus 2 lakh, because the 4 year is the useful period. So that is 6 lakh divided by 5, that is 1,50,000. Hence the number of a year is 4 here. So the above average annual return is converted into the percentage to get the average annual return. So that is 1,50,000 divided by 4 lakh into multiplied by 100, that is 37.5%. Here 4 lakh is the original invested capital. Now let us see the same thing with the brand B. So brand B, same. Here the 1,50,000 return is for every year. So the average is 1,50,000, same 37.5%. So now in this we can see that brand A and brand B both are having the same annual rate of return. But we will, if we go for average annual return method, then both A and B are same. But when you compare the payback period method, you will definitely go for the brand B, because brand B, with the help of the brand B, you can easily recover your invested money in less time as compared to the brand A. Because if you consider the value of a money with respect to the time, so the all the investment where you recover your invested money as early as possible, that is the most preferred method you have to choose. Okay, so these are the three methods by which you can do the economic study. Now next thing is the economic comparison. Okay. So economic comparison is also very important thing, because all the projects which are running on the field, they are very long duration projects, and a lot of money is invested. So for that type of the project, some of the financial formulas or financial methods must be employed to get that get that what is the equivalence value of any project in a particular time of a period or particular time of instant. So in most of the practical decisions, environment, executives will be forced to select the best alternative from a set of competing alternatives. So, as an organization, because a huge sum of the potential investment, and there are three different projects whose initial outlay and annual revenue are known. So as a executive or as a project manager, you have to select the best alternative among them. So the prospective receipt and disbursement of all alternative proposal must be placed on the equivalent basis for the comparison, and this is known as the equivalence concept. So basically, if for any completion of any project there are alternative methods, so or alternative financing strategies, so you have to make them on a same level. Okay? For example, if there is a choice between of a construction of a bridge using the precast method or in situ construction, so and the different amount is invested there, so you have to make an equal, you have to apply the equivalence concept, and you have to equalize that if a certain amount A is invested on project A and amount of B is invested on a project B, so what will be the present value or future value or annual equivalent value or rate of return value at a certain period of a time. Okay. So this we will see that how it can be done. So for this purpose, there are methods like present worth method, future worth method, annual equivalent method, and rate of return method. So we will see all these methods one by one. Okay. So let us see. The first method is the present worth method. So in this method of comparison, the cash flow of each alternative will be reduced to time zero by assuming the interest rate I. Then depending on the type of decision, the best alternative will be selected by comparing the present worth amount of the alternative, and the sign of various amount at a different point of a time in a cash flow diagram is to be decided based on the type of the decision problem. In a cost dominated cash flow diagram, the cost will be assigned with a positive and the profit revenue assigned, profit salvage value etc will be assigned with the negative sign. So in a revenue dominated cash flow diagram, the profit is shown as a positive and the cost is represented as a negative. So these are just representation, cost dominated or revenue dominated. So let us see the example of a revenue dominated cash flow diagram. Here in a revenue dominated, so all the revenue which you will receive from that project, that is represented on the positive side of x-axis, and the amount invested, that is represented on the negative side of the x-axis. So this will be look like this one. Here the S is the salvage value, and R1, R2, RJ are the total amount received from that project, and I is the interest rate. So to find out the present worth of above cash flow diagram, the formula which is used, that is the minus P plus R 1 upon 1 plus I to the power 1. So this formula will be used. So in this formula, expenditure is assigned as a negative sign and revenue are assigned are the positive. So expenditure initial amount invested, that is the minus, that is the P, so that is represented negative and rest is the positive. So if we have some more alternatives which are to be compared, with this alternative, then corresponding present worth form amount will be computed and compared. And finally, the alternative with the maximum present worth amount will be selected. Basically, in this method, the initial amount invested, which is negative, and the revenue is a positive. So the present worth, which is having the higher present worth, that alternative will be selected. Next, in the same way, in the present worth method, the cost dominated cash flow diagram. So this is having a same way, just in our thing. So in a cost dominated, P is represents the initial investment and net cost of the operation and maintenance. At the end of the C is the net cost of operation. P is the initial investment, C is the net cost every year which is incurred. So that can be calculated using this formula, that is PWI plus P plus. So here all the outflow, or all the money which is spent, that is represented in a positive, and all the receivings will be represented on the above of the x axis. S is the salvage value, so that is minus there. So this is the way you can compare this thing with the help of an toll plaza or the road where the toll plaza is installed. So in the first methodology, the a company is invested P crore rupees for the construction of a road and establish a toll plaza. And every year that company receives R1 revenue, R2 revenue, R3 revenue. And when the total recovery period is over, then the toll collection will be end. So at the end, so for that case, you will see that what amount of the revenue that company will receive at the present time. Okay. Similarly, in case of the cost dominated, so P amount is invested, but C1, C2, this amount is need to be invested every year for the maintenance of that road. So in first case, you will, in revenue dominated, you will see that what revenue, maximum revenue you will receive. In cost dominated, the less cost, the minimum cost is incurred. So on the basis of these comparison, you can check, select the best alternative. Next is the future worth method. So in this method, the comparison of the alternative, the future worth of a various alternative will be computed. And then the alternative with the maximum future worth or of net revenue or minimum future worth of a cost will be selected. So here the same criteria is in front of us. Either we have to see that maximum revenue which we will going to receive in the future, or the minimum cost which is incurred on the future. So here same top type of the cash flow diagram, revenue dominated cash flow diagram. So that will be drawn as similar as we have seen in the present worth method. So there's some change in the formula, so that let us see that formula. So okay, so this the for that case the formula is FW, future worth is minus P 1 plus I to the power n plus R1 1 plus I to the power n minus 1, R2 1 plus I to the power n minus 2. So this way is there. Here the all the things are positive including the salvage, and only the initial invested amount will be in negative. Second type of the formula, that is the cost dominated cash flow diagram. So here P is the initial investment, C1, C2, C3, CJ and C and are the total cost incurred on the repairing of the highway. So the formula for future worth in case of the cost dominated, so that is there. Now consider this all these statement, all this methodology with the help of an example. Here we have to see that we have the two alternatives. Alternative A means highway A, method of construction of highway A, method of highway B. The amount which is received, or that is minus 50,000 minus 45,000, means this is the initial amount invested, and this is the revenue which we received 20, 20, 20 and 20, 18, 18, 18 and 18. At interest rate of 18%, select the best alternative based on the future worth method of comparison. कौन सा लेना चाहिए? Now let us see. So for alternative A, the initial amount invested, that is the 50,000, annual equivalent revenue 50 lakh basically, and annual equivalent revenue is 20 lakh, interest rate is 18% compounded annually. Life of the alternative A is 4 years, because here 4 years. 0 is the initial amount, initial year, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 year is there. So the future worth of alternative B is alternative A basically. Here B is wrong here. Alternative A is 7,3,500 rupees, and for alternative B, the initial investment is a 45 lakh rupees. The equivalent revenue is 18 lakh rupees. Interest rate is 18%. Life of alternative is 4 years. So the formula of future worth for alternative B. Okay, so here the some calculation mistake. It will be 7,35,000 rupees. This will be 10 is missing there. Okay, so that must be corrected. For alternative B, you will apply the future work for alternative B. So that will be 6 lakh for 61,500 rupees. So based on the result, you can see that alternative A is having the higher future worth as compared to the alternative B. So alternative A will be selected. So that is there. Okay. Here all the values are in lakhs. Okay. And for solving such type of the problem, you just have to remember the formulas. Okay, and you have to know that how to draw the cash flow diagram, whether you have to draw the cash flow diagram in case of cost based, or in case of a revenue based. Okay, so here in this figure the revenue based diagrams are there. Okay, cost based cost, if because in the problem the revenue is given there. So based on the problem, you have to draw the diagram.